Hi, so welcome back. This is what should be the last video in my kind of series of videos of me going through my entire record collection here. Up until this point, we've done A to R, and now we've just got S to Z to go. Once I've done that, I'll probably just make sort of periodic videos of me going through, every 10 new records that I buy after this, just so it's kind of up to date. I'll try and keep them nice and short compared to these videos, but yeah, so we've just got S to Z to go. I'm pretty sure it's a smaller kind of bunch of records this time, so it should be a shorter video, maybe, we'll see. But yeah, let's just get started. The very first record I have today to show off is one of the very first ones I bought this year. I think it was the very first one I bought this year, that came out this year, actually, which is Drunk Tank Pink by Shame. An excellent post-punk record. Kind of overlooked, I think, when it's put next to like Black Country New Road and Black Midi and Squid. They're one of the bands from like the kind of windmill Brixton scene that's going on at the moment, which is very exciting, and I think they're really, really great. And you should definitely give them a listen if you're a fan of those other bands. Great bands. And this one comes with some pretty cool things with it. Painting. Not really sure the significance of this. But it's nice, nonetheless. Got some lyrics in the back there. And what's cool about this record is, and I didn't know this when I bought it, it actually comes with, a signed poster from each of the members of the band of that same painting. But yeah, that's really cool. Cool little insert there. Very nice to have. And as per the name of the album, Drunk Tank Pink, this one comes on, as you can see, pink wax. Very nice, with some photos of the band. Great album. Would highly recommend if you're a fan of the other kind of windmill releases this year. It's been a really good year for bands coming from that kind of scene, and Shame are definitely one of the highlights. Would highly recommend. And after Shame, we have an absolute classic, Slint, Spiderland. I got this for really cheap at Beat Disc, actually. They were selling it for like $25, $30. But yeah, no, I had to pick it up. Pretty bare bones packaging, just like a black vinyl and a clear sleeve. I don't think there's anything else in there. Nah. But yeah, no, this is an excellent album. If you're a fan of like math rock, post-hardcore, anything like that, you're probably, this is a kind of seminal work for that, but it's great. Only 6 songs, and only one of them is kind of a skip, because it's just an instrumental kind of interlude, I guess you could say, for dinner. But every other song here is absolutely incredible and a timeless classic. Definitely give it a listen. And next up, I mentioned them before when I was talking about Shame, but we have Squid, Bright Green Field, one of my favorites of this year. Absolutely excellent album. I really like the art style of this one too. Kind of like weird computer generated. Don't even know what to call it. The music videos kind of reflect that. Like if you look at the music video for Narrator, it's bizarre, absolutely bizarre, and you can see that on these inserts as well. It's like, I don't really know what I'm looking at here. Very strange. And these ones come once again, as per the name, on green vinyl. Bright Green Field, Drunk Tank Pink, bit of a theme going there for these albums. But yeah, no, excellent album, real highlights. And Narrator is one of my favorite songs of the year, along with Pamphlets, Paddling. The singles I think are the highlight of this album, but there's still some really good deep cuts on here. You've got 2010 Boy Races. I'm forgetting about one. Peel Street. I love Peel Street. But yeah, no, just a great album all around. Just a great album, and one of the best of the year. And next up, we have an album that I relate very heavily to my childhood. Tea for the Tillerman by Cat Stevens. I used to love this album as a child, and I still love it now. It's just a really nice, beautiful album. I got this for Christmas from my brother. I think last Christmas, 2020, just on black vinyl. But yeah, no, some of the songs on this are just gorgeous. And as I said, I relate them very heavily to my childhood. Where Did the Children Play? Wild World. Is Old School Yard in this one? No, but Father and Son is one of my favorite songs of all time. Just beautiful. And yeah, no, wonderful, wonderful album. And yeah, if you haven't heard it, definitely give it a listen. And now we have 2 records from The Strokes. We have their debut from 2001, Is This It? Absolutely incredible album. Not a miss on the entire record. And it comes on really nice white vinyl, I think. Yeah. It's just got a nice look to it, white vinyl. Shame I don't have more of it, but yeah, no, excellent album. Fantastic, you know, Is This It? The Modern Age. I could list every song, honestly. And then next up we have actually my favorite Strokes album, which I think is a hot take because a lot of people think Is This It is kind of untouchable. But we have the New Abnormal, their newest album. I think it is an incredible comeback album, and their best work in my opinion. You know, it has their best songs in it, honestly. At the Door, Not the Same Anymore, Ode to the Mets. Side B is stacked, and excellent songs on Side A as well. Very strange packaging on this one, though. You know, it's got, you know, the record's kind of there. Give me a second while I try and unpackage it, but okay. So I'm not going to take that out because it's going to be a kind of pain to get back in, but that's actually a poster. Oh no, the poster's here, sorry. That's just the front cover of the album. And here we have the poster, which is very big. There it is. And on the back side we have just, you know, silhouettes of the bands. Very nice. Nice inclusion. And the record itself just comes in this extra nice sleeve. Black vinyl. Yeah, no, this is just an incredible album. I think it's yeah, it's my favorite. I don't know if it's the best, but it is my favorite. Yeah, I think it's a real treat. I'm really looking forward to see what they do in the coming decade, because apparently they have a few records lined up. Although I got the impression that Julian Casablancas had more fun making Void's albums than Strokes albums. But you know, if he's gonna continue working with the band and making music that's as good as it was on this album, I think that's great, because this is a great album, and yeah, I'm hoping it's signaling similar quality in the next couple of records to come. And this next one is UFO by Jim Sullivan. I was actually I was given this by my friend, who was actually sent this by Vinyl Me Please, the record company. That kind of reissues a lot of older records, and he was sent one without a side B sticker, I think it is. So they sent him another one, and he just gave me this one, which was really nice. And because it's a Vinyl Me Please record, they always do really nice booklets with their reissues, so it gives like a cold kind of context to the album. Jim Sullivan's, you know, mysterious disappearance. It's a very really interesting story if you haven't read about him. I didn't know anything about it before my friend told me, and yeah, no, it's a very interesting story, and comes with this really cool artwork as well. It's thick cardboard, and just a bit about the artwork on the back there. Yeah, so it's a really nice packaging with this one, and the other side has the record. I think it's coloured, but I might be remembering wrong. Nope, I was right. So nice colouring there, and as you can see, this is what I was talking about. The has no side B sticker. That's just the side A, and then it's just missing one on the back. So he was sent another copy of it, and I ended up with this one, which, like, you know, very nice of him. And one of my favourite bits about this record is actually the gatefold. I just love that. Him kind of like walking mysteriously out into the desert. Just beautiful. So thank you, Harrison, for this copy of Jim Sullivan's UFO. And yeah, moving on. And the last few records that I have in this pile are all by the same artist. Starting with Filth by Swans. As the name suggests, one of the filthiest albums I've ever heard. This is just so heavy. One of the heaviest albums I've ever heard, but it's so slow and so like, ooh, it's just a very dark album. I think it comes with 2 posters. So it's got lovely, very nice, and the second one is a tour poster from 1984. So that would have actually just been maybe before the second album came out. This is the debut album, Filth, in their kind of no wave era. But yeah, the thing that I really love about Swans actually is I've listened to all their albums now, and they've been around for about 40 years. Michael Dura's pretty much the only remaining member that's like been through the whole thing. It's his project, but just the progression of their music is such an interesting kind of trajectory. They started off making whatever the fuck this is, just like heavy, brutal, horrifying rock music. And then, they slowly drifted from that into like industrial music. And then from there, they went into folk music. And from there, it was kind of like gothic folk. And then after that, whatever Soundtracks for the Blind is, which I have on CD up there. And yeah, they took a hiatus after that. But then they came back with a few records, which I'll show off now, actually. But yeah, no, it's just been such an interesting kind of trajectory, and it's been such a huge span of time that not many bands can really say they've done. And to uphold the same level of quality throughout most of that is very impressive, because they've come back with some of their best albums over the last few years, which I will start off with by showing off The Seer. Terrifying album, as the cover suggests, and I love the back cover. The butthole of the seer, of the wolf. This is a brutal album for different reasons than their first record, Filth was. This is in their post-rock era, and all Swans records are just going to be on black vinyl. He doesn't muck around with. Michael Dura is kind of a no shit kind of guy. He doesn't muck around with making cute vinyl variants and stuff. Not a whole lot to show off about this one, apart from that it's a 3 fold-out gatefold, as is the next one that I'll be showing. But this is the first third of a trilogy of albums, of which I have 2 of, which are just unrelenting music. They feel so apocalyptic in their execution. Which I think was fully realized with this next album that I'm showing off, which is Signed, which is really nice. Which is To Be Kind. To Be Kind by Swans. I believe that's the original cover there. And if you look there, Michael Dura's signature, very nice. And this just has a lot of it's got a poster in there. Forgot about that. I've actually put this one up before, which is where you can see the blue tack. Swans, To Be Kind. And this is my favorite out of the new albums. I don't know if it's my favorite Swans album, but it's my favorite out of the new ones. And again, it's on black vinyl, so I won't get them out because they're a bit fiddly to get back in these ones because it's a 3 gatefold. But the songs on these albums are like stretching 20 or even 30 minutes long at some points, but they're so engaging and so well composed and put together that it doesn't feel like that at all. She Loves Us, which is probably my favorite on this album, I think is about 17 minutes long, but it just flies by, and it's so well paced, and the tension, the build up, and the payoff of it is just incredible. It's one of my favorite songs ever, and give these a listen. They're very long. Both of these albums are around 2 hours, and the third part of this trilogy that I don't actually have in my collection, but I would like to get some at some point because it would finish off this kind of trilogy, is also about 2 hours, The Glowing Man, which also features one of my favorite Swan songs, The Glowing Man, the title track. Excellent album. And the last kind of thing that I have to show off to do with these Swans albums is the Blu-ray for the documentary that was made 2020. Where Does a Body End, which I actually got to see the Australian premiere for. But it's a great documentary. It's a very comprehensive kind of history of Swans as a whole. It starts out with the days of Filth and Cop, works its way through their kind of industrial era with Holy Money, Greed, etc., and it ends up finishing with the latest albums. I think it ends in the era that To Be Kind was released actually, and yeah, it's a very very good documentary, full of lots of interesting interviews with people. Sonic Youth shows up quite a lot as well because they toured with them back in the day. But yeah, definitely a good documentary. If you can get your hands on it and you're a big fan of Swans, I would recommend. And yeah, that kind of brings me to the end of this pile. And yeah, I'll go grab the next pile and I'll be right back. Whew. All right, so back with the final pile for the entire collection. So yeah, let's just get stuck into it. The very first one that I have here is actually one I bought yesterday, which is Fear of Music by Talking Heads, which is, I believe, the second album where they collaborated with Brian Eno to make some of the best music ever. So good. And this one comes with a nice kind of texture to the album. You know, you can't feel that, but just trust me. There's not a whole lot to show off about this one. It's just on black record there. But yeah, excellent album. Probably my second favorite Talking Heads album next to the one I'm about to show off. But yeah, no, I you know, highly recommend this. So many great songs on that one, but not as many as on my favorite Talking Heads album, which is Remain Light. This is album leaves me speechless every time I hear it. Just incredible. You know, it's a classic. There's so many great songs on this. So many. In fact, there's no songs on this that aren't great. Just on Black Vinyl there, it's got this weird like kind of reverse like negative image to the front cover there. Yeah, you know, Born Under Punches is one of the best opening moments to an album ever. And you know, and then it's followed by like Cross-Eyed and Painless, The Great Curve, Once in a Lifetime. You know, it's just like a song after song, some of the best music ever created. Unfortunately, when I bought this one, even though it was new, it actually came with a little crease there. You might be able to see it, which is a real shame because you know, this is one of my favorite albums ever, and it sucks that it's you know, not damaged, but just slightly not in mint condition. But yeah, incredible album and my favorite Talking Heads album. And a lot of the music on both of those albums is actually featured on the incredible concert movie Stop Making Sense, which I picked up for only like a few dollars online, and it's absolutely worth the watch. I think it's actually free to watch on YouTube, but the quality isn't particularly good. So if you want like a decent version of it, you can pick it up for fairly cheap online. And it's a really, really entertaining watch. You know, one of the best concert movies ever made. And in fact, the back cover actually says, you know, greatest concert movie ever. Which actually, I completely forgot to show this off in the video before the last one, the second episode of this. But to go with my my big box set of LCD Sound System The Long Goodbye, I have the concert movie for it, as well as the movie that comes with that, Shut Up and Play the Hits, which I personally think is the greatest concert movie ever. But you know, both of these absolutely incredible. This one actually goes for very expensive online, but I actually managed to find it in a store for very cheap. I was really lucky enough to get that. But yeah, no, you can find this for pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure. Excellent movie, and also excellent. So next up we have Laughing Stock by Talk Talk, which is the final album by the band, and kind of the end of the progression from like their art pop earlier albums to making like really gorgeous post rock music, which is a kind of strange progression. But yeah, no, this is a gorgeous album that kind of wrestles with the concept of death. And yeah, no, it's really beautiful, very sad as well. Ascension Day and you know, After the Flood, great songs. I think it's just on black vinyl. Yeah, so just black vinyl on this one. It comes with really nice handwritten lyrics on the vinyl insert there, which is nice. And yeah, no, excellent album. And an essential to have if you're a fan of Talk Talk and Mark Hollis. Yeah, really great stuff. All right, and next up is one of my favorite kind of comedian songwriters as well, which is Tim Minchin. I like this album. I don't like it quite as much as his like kind of live comedic music, but it's still really nice. There's some real highlights on here, like Leaving LA. I really love that song, and I'll Take Lonely Tonight is quite good as well. Yeah, as I said, not my favorite from him, especially since I have a few of his live shows on DVD, which I just love them so much. But there he is, very handsome man. And I believe they're coloured as well. Yeah, so very rich red there. Very nice. And I just took a quick glance then. It actually comes with a booklet, which I completely forgot about, so I'll just show that off. Oh, so it's not a booklet, it's actually a poster. Very nice poster that comes with that. There he is running. But yeah, no, it's worth a listen. Worth a listen especially if you're a fan of Tim Minchin like I am. Oh, here we go. Never mind. So there's a booklet in the other side of the gatefold, which is probably just a lyric sheet. Nice inclusion there. I like the art style of this album quite a lot as well. And you know, there's some photos of him during live shows actually. And I like the cover of this one as well. Cool. And next up is an album I got for my birthday actually, which is the soundtrack from Twin Peaks, which has this absolutely beautiful packaging, as you can see. Slides out like that. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. There's Angelo Badalamenti, the man who made the soundtrack. And this is just like, if you've seen the show, you'll know the soundtrack for this TV show is just exquisite. And it comes on really beautiful vinyl. This is one of my favorite variants that I have actually. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And yeah, it's very rarely that I'll pick up a soundtrack to something, but the soundtrack for Twin Peaks is just like, while also being so heavily tied to the show itself, it's something that works perfectly well just by itself as well. It's such an evocative collection of music. And with it, I actually have another 33 1/3 that I got for this Christmas from my girlfriend. So I'm looking forward to reading through this one and listening along with the album as I do so. So yeah. I know this is a vinyl record collection video, and I showed off a few DVDs and Blu-rays already. So to go with this, I also have my box set of Twin Peaks there. So very good stuff. One of my favorite shows ever. And next up, we have the absolutely lovely post-hardcore band Touche Amore with their 2020 album Lament, which is a really beautiful album about kind of dealing with grief and you know, going through each of the stages of grief and coming to terms with it. And it's a really nice follow-up to the 2016 album Stage 4, which is all about the death of a family member for the lead singer. And it's it's a really beautiful album. I feel like this was quite underappreciated by a lot of people, especially since Stage 4 made kind of such a huge cultural ripple. Everyone loves that album. It is a really amazing album, but I think this is just as good, honestly. Yeah, and it's so many amazing songs. Limelight, one of my favorite songs of last year. So yeah, if you like Touche Amore, but you haven't really given Lament a listen because it kind of got a bit more of a lukewarm response, I would highly recommend. There's the nice, so there, and it comes on really nice vinyl there. Good stuff. Alright, next up we have Igor by Tyler the Creator, one of my favorite albums of the last few years. This is one of the albums that is a gatefold but doesn't actually have a second record with it, which I love. I love that they go to the effort of making it a gatefold anyway. And I don't think this is coloured. No, it's just on black. But yeah, this is a great album. It did come with a little insert of the front cover along with another picture, but I actually have it up somewhere else in my room, so I can't show that to you just this second. But yeah, no, great album, one of the best releases of the last few years, along with his 2018 Flower Boy and his latest release, Call Me If You Get Lost. He's been on a real winning streak recently, and yeah, this is probably my favorite out of that bunch. So yeah, excellent album. And next up we have The Velvet Underground and Nico. They're self-titled. Just an incredible album. Features one of the best songs of all time, Heroin, as well as a bunch of other songs that are also some of the greatest songs of all time. Yeah, no, just an incredible album. I need to pick up a copy of White Light, White Heat by them as well. There's the gatefold. Features some nice little write-ups about the album there. And yeah, just a fantastic album. Here's the record here. It's on 180 gram. which is always nice. I haven't mentioned when albums have been on 180 gram, but it's always nice when they are. Nice heavy feel to the album is always a good sign. Great album, and highly recommend. Next up we have Violent Soho, Everything Is A-OK. Just a really fun punk album from the group, one of my favorites from them. And just an excellent album from start to finish. Just on black vinyl. For some reason I remember this being colored, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, no, excellent album. Lyrics there. If you haven't heard Vacation Forever, that's the highlight from the album for me. Very fun, great punk song. And then we have, of course, Weezer, the Blue Album. Again, just so much fun, front to back. It looks like there's a little insert in this one. I didn't remember that being there, but just a drum kit and some guitars. You know, good stuff. Guess the studio, as they were making the album, as they were making one of the most fun kind of pop rock albums of all time. You know, start to finish. I can't say much about this album. It's just heavy vinyl, always a good sign, as I said. And yeah, you know, I don't think I can really fault this album. I don't think I can really fault it. Yeah, a lot of fun. And after their very first album, I also have one of their latest albums, which is OK Human. I was pleasantly surprised by this album because I haven't actually heard a lot of Weezer's discography. It's kind of just, I've never really bothered to listen to the whole thing because I hear so many people say that it's just incredibly hit and miss. Mostly miss. So I heard there was a new one coming out, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I really loved this album. I thought it was very heartfelt. I love the instrumentation, the kind of swap between from guitar rock to just orchestral compositions was really beautiful. And it's just a really great album. The only song I don't really love is the final song. Everything else on there I absolutely adore, honestly. I think it's a really beautiful album. And if you're like me and you kind of have this weird prejudice against Weezer, I would recommend at least checking this one out because it's really wonderful and pleasant surprise. So. And next up we have this big chunky version of this album. We have 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West. Not one of my favorite Kanye West albums at the moment. That changes a lot. I go through phases of different albums, but it's still a really great album, and the packaging on this one is really incredible. It's a 3 gatefold. And in the middle, it's actually got a CD of the album as well, so that's a nice little bonus that came with it. Got Mr. West on the right. And, I think it also comes with a poster. So on one side, you've got Kanye with his mother, Donda West. And on the other side, you've got Kanye kind of in amongst this cartoonish art style that the rest of the album is coated in. And yeah, it's a great album. It's one of the most influential albums of this entire decade, and the 2010s, and probably most likely this coming decade as well. It really shaped kind of hip hop and R&B music as it is today. But yeah, just excellent album, and Oh, and it also comes with another insert, which is nice, which I believe all the lyrics for all the songs in very tiny writing, and the credits on the back there. And after 808s and Heartbreak is, of course, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which has really cool packaging with this one. It's also a 3 gatefold there, and it comes with, if you look at the front, you can see that moves around. It actually comes with a bunch of alternate covers. This is actually one of the alternate covers. And yeah, here they are. So this is the one I have in because I think it looks just incredible. We have this one. It's a shame that it's pixelated still because it looks kind of silly just having it pixelated like that, especially since it's such a cool artwork. But yeah, excellent. This kind of priest one in the style of the fractured face thing that's going on there. Have the classic ballerina one, which is what it came packaged as, and one of my favorites as well, which is his, again, kind of fractured face there, which is really, really cool. But yeah, the artwork on this one is just, absolutely incredible. And along with that album, only one of 2 picture discs that I have in my entire collection, along with the Beavis and Butthead one that I showed off, is the single for Power. So on one side it has the original track, and then on the other side there's the radio edit. But it's a really cool picture disc, and yeah, definitely one that's worth having in the collection. Whew, all right, so we're up to the final stretch of albums. I think there's only 5 left. Starting off with, we have Weyes Blood, Titanic Rising. This is just one of the most gorgeous records to have ever been released. I got to see her live in at the very beginning of 2020, only a few weeks before live music became dead. So it was really lucky that I actually managed to get to see her, because it was an absolutely magical show, featuring some really magical music. This is just gorgeous album. If you haven't heard it, just beautiful songs on this from start to finish. Movies is like exquisite. You've got Picture Me Better, which is so sad but so beautiful at the same time. And then just like every song, Every Day, Andromeda. Just it's really worth the listen through and through. And also gorgeous artwork on this one as well. Love it to death. And next up we have also a really wonderful album, Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. This is also just a really soulful and gorgeous album, suitably in black vinyl. Yeah, it's just incredible. She's an amazing singer, amazing songwriter, and yeah, just a classic album. It's a real tragedy that she died so young, and it's a shame that we'll never get to hear any more music from her as well, because this is just if she was doing this at such an early point in her career, making music this good, then like who knows what she would have achieved even further in her career. But yeah, no, amazing album, and definitely give it a listen. Right, so next up we have the new Wolf Alice album. I got this for Christmas from my girlfriend's family, which was really nice of them. And yeah, it's one of my favorite pop kind of indie rock albums of this year. Really great stuff. So many highlights. And yeah, interesting artwork there, just on black vinyl. And yeah, no, just a great indie rock album that has so many good songs about heartbreak. Excellent stuff, with a nice insert with the lyrics and credits there. Great album. Would highly recommend. If you're looking for new music that came out this year, this is a good place to start. Right, so we have 2 albums left. Second last is my only Y record. We have Yves Tumor. One of my favorites from last year. This is an incredible kind of psychedelic rock album. Not really sure what's going on in the gatefold there, but yeah, no, very freaky album, very cool. If you haven't heard this, Kerosene is kind of the fan favorite. I actually don't like it as much as some of the other stuff on here, but it's still a great song. Gospel for Your New Century is an incredible opening moment to the album, and my personal favorite part of the entire record is this kind of 1-2 punch of Romanticist and Dream Palette, which is they're 2 songs that weave into each other, and it is just breathtaking, and it's on color vinyl, which is always a nice bonus. Kind of a smoky texture, as you can see in the middle there. Yeah, no, just incredible album. If you look at the album cover, kind of the music kind of sounds like that looks. So yeah, very psychedelic, very strange, but an incredible rock album. He also released a new EP this year, which is just as good. If you want to hear that, listen to Jackie, which is one of his best songs. Yeah, definitely give it a listen. And the very last record that I have to show off today, as per the kind of tradition with each of these videos, it's on the turntable already. We have Frank Zappa's Apostrophe. Frank Zappa is just an incredible musician and an incredible artist that I have not listened to the majority of his music. If you look at his discography, he has, I'm not even sure how many albums. It's just a vast amount of records under his own name, and also with the Mothers of Invention as well during the 60s. But I feel like Apostrophe is probably the best entry point to his music. A lot of his albums are really quite long and very technical and kind of difficult to attach to if you haven't listened to his music before. But this is a really great entry point. It's not too kind of proggy, but it's also it's got the sense of humor that comes across in a lot of Frank Zappa's music really nicely, and it's also about 30 minutes long, so it's a good nice little bite-sized Zappa album to listen to if you haven't heard him before. And it's I personally like Zappa in little bite sizes, so this is a good one for me anyway. I think it's a really funny, really excellent album, and it also shows off how proficient he was as a guitarist. Frank Zappa is just one of the most incredible guitarists that ever lived, and I would highly recommend listening to this one as an entry point to his other records. I need to pick up a few others by him because I do I am a fan of them. It's just there's so many. There are so many, and I'm still working my way through his discography at the moment, so I'll get around to it. But in the meantime, definitely listen to this because it is excellent. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the entire record collection. All 4 videos of it. I don't know how many albums there were. I don't know how many we've been through, but that's everything. So if you watched all of these, thank you so much for watching. I realize it's probably like over 2 hours of footage to kind of watch at this point, but if you enjoy this sort of thing and you got some enjoyment out of it, then that's awesome. So thank you so much for watching. Even if you just like watch some of them, or if you skip through to see your favorite artists, if I have them, thank you so much for watching. And I really enjoyed making these, so as I said, I'll keep updating this as I collect every 10 or 15 records that I get. I'll make a kind of update video. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.